Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Been There Fix That tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you a macro I built that automatically formats group names. It removes the camera letter and the suffix from each name. It was inspired by a macro my old first assistant created. This macro is aimed at a pretty common editor preference where they don't want the camera letter included in the group name. I've got a few groups here to show you how it works. Some names are basic, some are selects, some have letters before the slate number, some use decimal take numbers, and some include extra information after the take like 48 frames per second. I've tried to show that no matter where the camera letter appears in the group name, the macro will still remove it. I've created examples using every separator I can think of, including underscores, slashes, dashes, and full stops to cover the different ways people format their group names. When I trigger the macro, which I do with Ctrl-G, it copies the group names, runs a couple of search and replace actions, and then pastes the cleaned up version straight back into Avid, overwriting the original name. As you can see, the macro consistently removes the camera letter and the suffix while leaving the rest of the name untouched. If we open Keyboard Maestro, you can see the two search and replace actions I mentioned. The first handles the default Avid group suffix. Every time Avid creates a group, it adds .group followed by a number at the end of each name. The search and replace pattern simply targets that and removes the number, leaving the word group with a space between that and the rest of the name. The second search is the more interesting one. This is the part that removes the camera letter, and I can find it regardless of how the group name is structured. Whether there's a star, a decimal take, or anything else added, it's still able to identify where the camera letter sits and remove it. The challenge is that group names sometimes include letters you don't want to delete, especially with American slating. So to make sure it only removes the camera letter, the search and replace pattern looks for the take number, then checks for a single letter right after it. I've written a guide on the Been There Fix That website that goes into a lot more detail on exactly what these search and replace patterns are doing. There'll be a link in the description below. But essentially, this macro gives you a single shortcut that cleans up group names and saves you from having to remove the camera letter manually. I hope you find it useful, and as always, if you've got any ideas or requests for future macros, let me know and I'll do my best to make them for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.